Z doesn't know how to write a check.
Because not a lot of places accept the grown-up IOUs, and it's a lot easier just to pay me in cash or send the money over Cash App or something like it.
They don't know how to address an envelope.
A lot of the time when I get an important envelope, they usually give me an extra one already filled out for free. Plus, why would I need to send an envelope myself? It's a lot easier just to DM someone or text them something.
They don't know how to read cursive.
There's a lot of things in this world we very arbitrarily say are fancy and look nice because we say so, like suits and diamonds. But cursive is the worst offender at this because it's just taking your already written language and then making it harder to read by making it all swervy and curvy, just to make it look old-fashioned and nice. But in reality, it looks like just a bunch of scribbles. And people already have different handwriting, so there's no reason to write cursive. I've only needed to use cursive a very few times in my life. And even then, a lot of the time I just made a wavy line and they accepted it, proving that cursive is completely pointless. So we should stop wasting people's time and our tax money teaching kids this completely arbitrary and worthless thing. And maybe we should teach them something a little more useful, kind of related, like sign language, which a lot of people rely on for talking.
They don't know how to read a paper map. They can't get anywhere unless there's a GPS map on their phone.
Because GPS on your phone is very reliable and free. Unlike paper maps, which if you don't have a printer, aren't free. And you say Gen Z can't navigate without it, but I have been in a car where the driver was a Gen X and a boomer and a silent generation person, and they get lost and can't navigate without their phones. But I guess for the very rare occasion if my phone dies halfway through the trip, that more promotes the idea that you should get a second charger for your car. And I know the GPS is going to say recalculating every 15 minutes and tell you to turn left in 2 seconds. Your GPS tends to be up to date when a paper map is only up to date when it was printed, so there might be new roads and new buildings, or the old buildings that used to be there have been converted to something else. Plus, you can get a car mount for your phone, but unless you have a second person to go with you, paper maps are actually kind of dangerous because you have to constantly look at the map and then constantly look at the road so you don't get into an accident, but then look at the map so you know where you're going, when a GPS on your phone yells out the directions.
All I'm saying is if Gen Z takes over the world, it's going to be pretty easy to get it back.
What absolute terrible conclusion you came to. Oh, of course her name's Karen. And looking her up, she is a Gen X, because of course she is. Gen X, you're supposed to be the parent to Gen Z. You're kind of supposed to teach us, even if it does seem outdated and dumb, you kind of have to deal with old people who do outdated dumb things. Like telling us how to write our name in cursive on a check and then send it to the bank so we can buy a house. But nah, of course not. That boy ain't right. It's all on me for not knowing how to do it and I'm just an idiot. But instead of doing your parenting job and help your kids learn, you're just going to stand there all smugly and entitled. Oh, these kids today are just so stupid. They don't know how to do stuff I know how to do. Even if it is outdated and pointless. We're just going to hold on to power forever because our kids are just too dumb.
We're just going to write our battle plans in cursive on a piece of paper.
And we'll just text ours in a Discord group. Or better yet, Gen Z has their entire life ahead of them, and Gen X is close to the end of their lives.